going on, guys? JT43 here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to replace or install fog lights. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. First thing you're going to do is you're going to pop your hood. I have a bunch of bird shit all over my hood. It looks really gross, but that's all right. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to have to take the bumper off. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 4 bolts off. So there's going to be 2 over here and 2 over here. So now, realistically, they should be 10 mils, but I put this like little cheap ass dress up kit, so that's why mine looks like this, but it pretty much gets taken off the same way. You're just gonna take these off. All right, so I got the other side out. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do this side real quick. All right, so now that we got those 4 bolts out, the next thing we're gonna have to do, and it's completely up to you if you just wanna take this first row out or if you wanna take all of them out, because it is a pain in the ass to get them back in. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I struggled. These aren't the right clips though. I added like my own because this is an old car, and you know, finding the exact clips are, you know, you could buy them off Toyota, but fuck that. You can either take them all off or you can just take the front 3 off, or 4, because there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, if you even have any. If you don't even have this, you don't have to worry about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take mine out real quick. All right, so my goofy eye doesn't have a pry tool, which I definitely got to get one. So I'm just gonna be popping the clips up with this like gasket scraper, and then trying to get under it with these little like mini pliers and trying to pop them up. So now that I have all the clips off, I can go ahead and take this guy off. I'll just put it to the side. And so with most of the top all gone, now we're going to have to move to the sides here. So there's a Phillips tucked away over here, and then there should have been a clip here. I don't have that. My wheel liner is very messed up because of the sizing of my tire. So I'll go ahead and fish my Phillips in here and just start unscrewing this guy. And then let me just cut the zip tie. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the other side. All right, so I'll do the same. I'll just kind of fish out this Phillips here. And then after this guy is out, we'll go ahead and take the clip out on the bottom. So what I'll do, I'll just take this guy, get behind it, and just push it out. Just like that. Once again, it's the wrong clip. It's not the right size, but it works, so now that should be able to come outside. It'll come off. I'm gonna warn you, whenever you do take off your bumper, and I'll show you a better example on this side. So whenever you do take off your bumper, there's always a risk that you take that the fitment is gonna be ass. So there's the Phillips screw in the back, but all in the front here, it just relies on these little ass tabs here. So you definitely wanna be careful. I remember taking my bumper off and it never fit the same once I put it back on. And then if you watch my video where I did the brackets, the new bumper brackets, this side worked really well. It looks bad now because I took that Phillips out, but this side, I just could never get it to fit right. And so the fix for that is a new bumper, but I'm not doing all that. So I have a fix for that, which the video will be coming out very shortly. It's not too far off from what we did in the rear and in the side skirts. So now what we'll have to do is go underneath, and I don't have the panel right underneath, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second. All right, so I am lowered on Megan Racing, so I'm gonna have to just get under here, but I don't have the under panel. I have the back panel there, but I don't have the panel that sits in front of here. So if you have that panel, there's like, it's either clips or 10s, I can't remember, but they go all throughout the front bumper. You just have to take those off in order to get it off. But mainly we want to deal with the wheel liners. So the wheel liners should have like some 10 millimeters attached to them, but I don't have any of that. So I'm good to just take my bumper off now. But if you do, you just look underneath the car, and anything that looks connected in the front here, you don't have to worry about this back panel. But anything that looks connected in the front here, that's what you'll have to start taking off in order to take the front bumper off. So now that I have both of my wheel liners kind of tucked away so I can pull it off, I gotta take this guy off. So now this is my relocation license plate bracket. It's reverse thread, so now I just have to find the correct size and get this guy off. And so once I do that, I'll be able to then fully take off my bumper. All right, so I took my license plate bracket. I'm gonna keep the actual stud there because taking that off is kind of a bitch, but I'm ready to take my full bumper off. When I take it off, I'll have to just disconnect my fog lights, so it's, you know, not gonna be able to come straight off. So I'll simply just pull off. All right, so now that I have my bumper on the ground, this is what I mean by the fog lights, right? So these are aftermarket fog lights. I put these in myself. You'll still have the connection that runs to the car. So all you pretty much do is there's 2 tabs on each side. So you're just gonna lift up and just pull down. Or we could just take the whole assembly out with it and just rest it on like that. I think I might just do that. Let's come over to this side. It's a little bit darker, but there it is right there. I'll just turn it to the left and just put it out like that. So there you go. Okay, so now that we have both of the fog light connections off, once again, this video will help you if you're replacing fog lights or adding fog lights. So now I can pick the bumper up, which I should probably do with 2 hands. But I'm not doing it with 2 hands, and we can set it over to the side here. We'll just place it down like that. I could hear people screaming, put it on something soft. Nah, fam, bumper on the ground. So we're gonna have to take the bumper over there and then do some surgery on it. So let's go do that now. All right, so now that we have very easy access to the fog light right here, this is actually a 2-piece. So you have the housing on the outside, and then you have the actual fog light on the inside. So I want to address this real quick because I can definitely see somebody thinking, you know, why did you mount the fog light outside of the grooves? So what I mean by grooves, and I'll zoom in right here. So technically, the OEM factory way to do this is to slide the fog light into these 2 grooves, and then you use the 2 screws to bolt them from the inside, like where the housing goes. You're supposed to use the 2 screws there, and then use the 1 screw on the other side. If you look at my setup, I have 1 screw where you're supposed to slide it into the grooves, and then 2 screws on the other side when there's only supposed to be 1. Now there's 2 reasons why I did this. The first reason is my bumper is a little bit messed up, and so when I did originally slide the fog light into those 2 grooves, and once again it's zoomed in right here, this was before, like, I didn't record it or anything. This is like one of the first mods I've done, was do the yellow fog lights. The other side wasn't able to reach, and so if you actually take a look at what I got here, I think I say it later in the video too, where I wasn't able to get that 4th hole, like that 4th screw in, because it doesn't reach at all. So that was the first reason why I bolted the fog light outside of that kind of like groove. The second reason being, when I did slide the fog light into that little groove, it was putting so much pressure on the fog light housing that it would just pop it out. When I first tried to do this and I put everything back together, I would just, you know, test drive and drive down the road. Any kind of like bump I would hit, the fog light housing, the outer part would just kind of pop right off because of the pressure, because the fog light now sits lower. And so I guess because it's an aftermarket kit, it kind of just kept popping out and popping out and popping out. And it got so annoying because like I usually would have to revert to like tape, or like, you know, I'd have to, you know, be sure that I'm being wary of them because they would always want to pop out. So eventually I had enough of that, and so I eventually just kind of bolted them, like I said, on the outside. It's not a huge difference. The way that I'm showing is the more secure way. I bolted it on the outside using 3 screws instead of 2, because people usually only do 2, and it's not putting any pressure at all on the fog light housing. So there's no way, especially later in the video when I show you how to do the zip tie trick and the self-tapper trick, there's no way for these housings to pop out. Even if the fog light is putting pressure on it, there's no way they're popping out. I just wanted to say this real quick because, like I said, like, I know somebody could see that and be like, why, like, what did you do to this thing? Like, why did you mount it on the outside? Those are the two reasons why. Number one, my bumper's a little bit messed up and it wouldn't reach the other side. And two, it was putting way too much pressure on my housings and it was causing them to pop out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is take out these Phillips. Now there should be 4. If I remember correctly, I couldn't get the 4th one on safely, so I didn't even bother with that. So here's 1, 2 should be on this side, and then there's 1 on the bottom down here. I'll show it in just a second where the screw hole is, right on the side over there. So now that all 4 screws are out, this should just be able to pop out just like that. And now we have the fog light. But I'm also going to be replacing my housing, and you can see I have it zip tied here because my housing tabs weren't able to reach the actual bumper itself. So I had to just zip tie it shut. And that's why on the outside, you can see my housing kind of came off because it doesn't even fit in the hole anymore. It's so warped. So I'm gonna cut these zip ties real quick and then we'll take the old housing off. All right, so I figured we'd take a look at what we're doing real quick, or what kind of stuff we have before we actually install. So if you want any of these, I'll leave a link in the description down below. I'm gonna be converting to LED instead of halogen because halogen is kind of ass. So here's the new housings. Hopefully I don't have the same issue that I'm having right now where they don't reach and I have to zip tie them, because it is very annoying, but if I have to do the same thing, I will. And I'm also going to paint these, so that's pretty exciting. That'll be in a later video. So we also have the button and some zip ties. Now, I'm not going to be hooking up the fog lights. I'm just showing how to replace them. Because I'm just showing simply how to replace or install the fog light. Because to route the harness, you have to go inside of your grommet in the firewall of your engine bay, and you have to attach it that way. So I already have mine attached. I'm simply just replacing it. So this is more of a video for like, if you just bought a Scion TC with the fog lights and you notice that it's shit and you want to replace them, but you already have everything set up. That's more of what this video is for. Another housing right here, and then obviously you have 2 of the fog lights. So I went with yellow again because I think yellow just looks really good. So we have another yellow one, and it comes with a halogen bulb. But like I said, I'm going to be switching to LED. So this is the Oxydo LED. I have these on the front headlights and also has my tail lights. Really good brand, so I'm pretty excited to be using these for the fog lights, because the fog lights, the halogen bulbs make it look like a lamp. Like, you could see that it's yellow, but it doesn't do it the best job. Now that we took a look at this, let's go ahead and throw it on the car. All right, so I just got the fog light housings back from paint, and look at that nice pearlescent shine. Let's put this on the bumpers. So, like I said, there's 2 pieces. There's the housing, which is this guy, and the actual fog light, which is this guy. So now we're going to have to slide this guy into the fitting here. So before pressing record, this is what I was pretty much trying to show. Most of the tabs don't fit in like where they need to go. So it's easy to just kind of pull it out, just like that. This one is holding. This is the only one that is holding. Like, if I come over here and I start just pulling on it a little bit, it just straight up comes out. On my last one, I used zip ties to keep it in, but this time I think I'm gonna do something a little bit different that hopefully works. So what I'm gonna do for this one is I'm probably gonna I'm gonna get like a screw out here, a self tapper, and self tap this tab into the actual bumper. And then that goes for this guy too. I'm probably gonna self tap up so that I can have this, like, you know, screwed into the actual bumper. And then for this one, I might just do the zip tie trick again because it did work. So I got myself an 8mm self tapper, and we're just gonna have to self tap the first end. All right, so pretty much what I'm doing is I'll just put the self tapper here. I'll put it right on the tab. All right, so I'll do it just like that. I'll make sure this is on tighten, which it is. You're gonna pull back as much as you can. Oh, the 8 fell out, hold on. You're gonna pull back on the housing as much as you can so that it gets a nice fit. And you're just gonna drill. We should be good to just drill straight through. Okay, so it actually just cracked the tab here, which that is very unfortunate because that was not even a lot of force, but you'll see that it doesn't move. So now that I know that it doesn't take a lot of force to crack it, I won't use that much force at all. So let me go get the next one. All right, so here's a better angle of what I'm doing, right? So I have my drill here, and so I'm pretty much gonna put it right here. I'm gonna pull back on the assembly as much as I can without my 8 falling out. And then I'll just drill through until it goes through the housing, but I'll have to go way slower than last time because I actually cracked it. So I'll just let the drill do all the drilling. So I'll just take it slow, right? So it's drilling in. Oh, it's already starting to crack. Oh, yep, it just cracked. That's okay though, because as long as it's self-tapered in like that, it's not going anywhere. And I can prove that by giving it a little tug. Like I can see, this is not going anywhere. So that's what I mean by just kind of tapping it into there. So even though it looks cracked and stuff, you don't have to do this. If you would like to do it another way, obviously by all means do it that way. But I already tried the zip tie trick and only this side was holding, so I'm trying something different, but it does hold because you still have the 2 sides clamped by the screw. So, and same thing over here. You still have the 2 sides clamped by the screw. So if that screw comes out, that's the only way that that's gonna come out. But now that we have these screwed in, we'll go ahead and do the zip tie trick on this side. So the zip tie trick is super easy. You're just gonna grab a zip tie that the kit provided you. You're pretty much just going to bring the zip tie through the side like that. If it can get through. And you want it to go underneath the bumper here. So you want to slip the zip tie through here and underneath there. So you just have to push the zip tie through. So you're just going to feed it through until it pokes out on the other side, just like that. So now you can pull it, all right? And so the way that I have it, it's not going to work. So I might have had to I had to flip it. You pretty much just pull it through, and then you should be able to just zip tie it together, zip tie it tight, and then you just cut it. So I'm gonna have to flip mine around because it's not gonna be able to, actually, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I'll be right back. So pretty much just like this. So we went in through the side here, underneath the bumper and back around and just tightened it. That's pretty much all you need to know for the zip tie trick. And then for this side, you're gonna do the same thing. So you'd come in this way, go underneath the bumper this way and pull it, which, give me a second, I'll show you. All right, so this is how simple it is, right? So you see this little hole here in the tab. So all you're gonna do is push the zip tie through that hole. You're gonna make sure it goes underneath the bumper. So I'm pushing through, right? I know the zip tie's in the way of the camera, just give me one sec, but you're just gonna push it through until you see it pop out through the other side of the bumper like that. You're gonna pull it and then just zip tie it shut. And that's all you got to do. So now I grab some dikes and I'll just cut this just like that. And that's pretty much it. That's the zip tie way. So we did the screw and the zip tie way. Now if I tug on this assembly here, it's not going nowhere, bro. That's staying put. But all right, so now that we got that done, we can put the actual fog light in. So let me go get it. All right, so I got the new fog light right here, and I've been kind of having this issue where it doesn't really fit in there. So I kind of had to make my own holes. So what I mean by that is if we look over here, you can see that these are my previous holes that I've made. But then these 2 over here, like this one doesn't even match up with that at all. So I usually just run 3 screws because I can't fit my 4th one in there, and I don't even bother trying. You could run a zip tie method if you want. What you could do is you can drill a small hole through here and you can have the zip tie go through there. But as you saw the way I took it off, the bumper, the 3 screws held up. So I think you can just run 3 screws and you should be okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put 3 screws back in. All right, so I got my 3 screws. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in back real quick. All right, nice. So we got that all up in there. But the last thing I have to do is I have to switch out the halogen bulb for the LEDs. So what I'll do is you'll just turn this to the left. Just pop it to the left and out it comes. And then you can place this over here We'll open up this, we'll take one of these guys out, and then we will pop one of these guys in, and then turn to the right, and that will see in there. So now that was a full assembly there. It's that simple. It's that simple. So now I'm gonna run a time lapse over there on that side, and then we'll get it done quick. All right, so now that we have everything hooked up, you can see I put the screws in, I did the zip tie trick, and so that's pretty much all you need to know on how to replace or install the fog lights. Let's throw the bumper on the car, let's hook up the fog lights and see what they look like now. And this is what we got, this is what they look like. Fresh, super bright now, doesn't really pick up on camera, but before they just kind of gave off a lamp look, but now they're actually giving off a light. Like, I can actually probably use these and they'd be able to see. Let's see when I turn them off. This is what they look like with it off. A nice, I mean, that's like more like a piss yellow. I'm not even gonna hold you, but I mean, they still look okay. But yeah, that was how to replace a fog light or /install a fog light. If you did enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.